All right, guys, so something a little bit different today. I'm answering a question that I received via DM on Instagram. It was more just like my thoughts and advice on what someone could do. Apparently, maybe I'm wrong, I don't know, but from what I could surmise from the DM, photographers are starting to explore doing more interesting layouts with their work rather than just posting the image. And some photographers are starting to explore it. And this photographer was saying, look, I don't do graphic design. I haven't the slightest idea how to make something look cool for a layout. Now, of course, you don't have to do this. We want our work to speak for itself. But I'm going to show you some basics in not just layout design. We're not going to really get focused on design work right now. We're going to focus on something that a lot of photographers don't know because we focus on photography, right? Like I said, I was a graphic designer since the early 90s. So I did a lot of this. The tech has evolved quite a bit, but I'm going to explain to you how to do it and why it's a benefit. So here's just one thought. Again, if you want to make a cool layout for your Instagram post or social media post, there's all kinds of flexibility. After all, it's design, it's art, it can be anything, right? But I'm going to start with a canvas here that I just created with a black background. It's currently just 2048 by 2048 pixels, kind of an arbitrary sort of Instagram-y kind of thing, right? It can be any proportion as long as it works for Instagram and you can work with it. Now, here's the image I want to use. So I want to use it here. I want to use this image here. So, okay, I drag it over. That's one option. I can move it around. It's full resolution, but there's a better option, okay? So I'm going to take my layout here. I know where my image is saved, so I'm going to go find it. I'm going to go to the File menu and go to Place Linked. That linked is important for flexibility, okay? So I'm already at the folder here, so let me just kind of find that shot, which is right there, Place. Now, you notice when it comes in, if you've never done this, this is common in the world of graphic design, but if you've never done this, because we said Place Linked, now we're just kind of giving Photoshop instructions on where we want it to be. As soon as I decide where I want to go, I can also change the size, right? Double click it in the middle. It'll now rasterize it. Okay, so let's go ahead and just kind of look at our layout. Now, if we zoom in, we realize that it's pixelated because this is only 2048 pixels by 2048 pixels. We did not lose the resolution. As you can see over here in our layers window, that it is linked, meaning that this is more of a placeholder. Very common in graphic design, layout, InDesign, Illustrator. In the old days, we had freehand, we had PageMaker, all these kind of layout options. And we do this in other applications as well, including video. It's completely normal to have these external placed images. It's not normal if all you've done in Photoshop is photography retouching. But it's pretty common and it's fun. Let me show you how it can be fun. Relax, just relax. If you don't know anything about layouts, that's fine. You can just play. When I say that this is linked, that means that I can change it, duplicate it, modify it, and then I can swap it out really quick. Let me show you what I mean. So we're going to call, actually, we're not going to name anything right now. We're going to leave it alone. I'm going to duplicate it, Command J. As you can see, I've got a copy of it. All right. And it's also linked to the same file. Okay, so I'm going to put this main one on top, and this smaller one, I'm going to shrink it just arbitrarily. You talk about making a layout, I'm going to rotate it just arbitrarily. There we go. And now I'm going to duplicate that one and kind of drag it somewhere else. Duplicate it again, drag it somewhere else, duplicate it again, drag it somewhere else. Maybe change some of the layer order here, something like that. Cool, cool. Now I'm going to highlight all of them and make them all 50% opacity. Neat. We have a layout going. Cool. I'm going to duplicate one more. It doesn't matter. I could duplicate the other one too, but I'm just duplicating this one. Okay. And then this one, I'm going to make rather large. Okay. Something like that. Just figure out where I'm going to put it. Actually, I want it a little bigger than that. Something like this. Cool. And now I'm going to take that and I'm going to go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur. And I'm going to run it kind of high, like 300. Let's see. That's a little high. 150. Something like that. Okay, cool. It's a smart filter. That Gaussian blur can change. I can double click it and make it 100. See, and it's still pulling from that linked file. Let's try some blend modes. Ooh, screen looks kind of cool, but I want to separate this thing, this main image from the other one. So on top of that layer, I'm going to create a solid color layer, make it black, make it like 20%. 25%, maybe 30. There it is. Cool. Now, when I say that this is embedded, believe me, it is. I'm going to show you in a minute what I'm talking about. Okay. I'm going to duplicate it again. And on that copy, before I move it, I'm going to transform, go to vertical, put it down here, making a bit of a reflection, if you will. Make a mask on it, okay? I'm going to paint with black and just kind of fade in that mask. Just a little bit like that. Cool. And then I make that like a 30%, 35%. Now it has a reflection. And I'm going to highlight them, both layers together. And I'm going to call it main image. Now, what am I doing? I'm building a template, basically. If I move around the folder main image, you can see the highlight moves with it. See that? Cool. I'm going to take it a step further. On that main image folder, I'm going to go to transform and I'm going to go to perspective. And I'm going to change the perspective. And then I'm going to go to, let's say, distort. Okay. And I'm going to make it like about there, maybe. Cool. Now look at that. It's, again, reprocessing that pixel data from the original image. All right. Oops. So let's go ahead and make this a little bit darker again. So the main image sticks out, even 50%. That looks kind of cool, right? Now, this is just a simple layout. We can move anything anywhere we want, but this is what I mean by flexible. You could save this and be happy with it and think, cool. And that's fine, because everything you change, all the distortions that you do, all the rotations and copies and increasing and decreasing sizes, all the pixels get re-rastered, reprocessed from the original linked file. So you always have the best quality. Photographers care about the quality, right? All right, but here's the other thing. It doesn't matter which one of these I go to, but if I go and right click it and I can say replace contents, okay? And when I come here, I can choose, let's say, this image, hit place. Give that a second. Boom. The layout's changed to all of them. Again, if you're a graphic designer, if you do a lot of this kind of stuff, even like I said, with video elements, motion graphics, this is pretty common. It's not something that photographers normally do. And then they just think, well, I'm just going to post my shot. You know what I mean? This cool layout, let's say you like it. Let's say you like it for this series. You can just save this PSD. And when you open it, right click any of these linked files and say, replace contents, find yet another image, place. Now you're probably thinking, well, what happens if I put a horizontal? That's not a good idea, okay? You want to keep the proportions ideally the same, okay, to make sure that you have too much of a problem, and ideally similar in size as well. If you swap out, I mean, this is a, whatever it is, a 28 megapixel image originally or whatever it is. If you swap it out for something that's 1,000 pixels tall, your layout's going to look completely wrong. You have to have some foresight. But if your images are relatively the same size, relatively, all your verticals at once, all your horizontals at once, etc. Also, other elements can be implemented here. You can have another photo embedded in and or duplicated or not. All this is modifiable at any given moment. I can make that one 40%. I can make that one 30%. I can do anything that I want to do and play around. Now, is this the kind of layout you want? I don't know. But I'm just showing you how powerful it is when, again, a lot of photographers don't realize it. And of course, if you come in and replace content for something completely different, let's go to, I don't know which one of these, something that's not going to get me killed on YouTube. Let's try this one. Also accessing from Dropbox, so it's loading them in real quick. And there you go. Then we can, it's a little dark, so I can change that background opacity. Maybe not that much. There you go. So many things we can do. Everything's smart. So if you guys want more of this kind of like graphic design focused content, let me know. I did this for years. These kind of layouts and desktop publishing, as I guess we still call it. I don't know. That's what I used to call it. And I love to show people, especially in Photoshop, because we photographers, I say we, not so much me, but photographers learn Photoshop 5 years ago, 2 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and they focus on photography. They focus on retouching. They don't necessarily focus on the layout and graphical elements. Now, compositing artists know about this kind of stuff, almost certainly. Most experienced composite artists will do smart objects and things like this all the time, which is why files get huge. But the average photographer, not that means you're bad or low grade, the average photographer can take amazing images, but may not know about graphic design, things like this, especially smart objects, which have use in retouching as well. If you guys want more of this kind of content, let me know. But I thought I'd answer a question about creating layouts for Instagram in Photoshop. It's fun. It's cool. I don't know if I'll post this, but it looks pretty cool. I might make others. Not sure. Anyway, thanks for checking it out. And again, let me know if you want more of this kind of thing.